Hello, everybody, and welcome to the D-Pad. I'm Rick, and this is the... Oh, God, what month is it even anymore? Well, I guess it's still June. It's June for a couple more hours, anyway. The June 2023 Patreon Hangout, where... Oh, my God, everything is broken. Oh, my God, it's been hot as shit lately. Hopefully everybody's doing okay dealing with the heat. If it's hot where you are, if it's not hot where you are, how dare you? You're very likely to be hearing a lot of us moaning and whinging about the... Oh, the chat is not showing up on here. Ooh, hang on one second. It should be doing that. Oh, God damn it. This happens every time. I've talked about this before. XSplit does this really annoying thing. Ta-da! There we go. Oh, why does it have... I've got a little... I can react to stuff. Oh, Jesus Christ. Can I just refresh and have it not do this? Why are you doing this to me? Why are you doing this to me? Hey, wait a second. What? Okay, well... I'm just gonna... That was weird. Yeah, there we go. We're actually in now. It's definitely hot where you are, but you don't hate the heat. Yeah, I mean that's fine. Like honestly, I am more of a person who prefers the cold over the heat if I can, mostly because just like I'm just more comfortable in it. Heat always just slows me down. I always feel like I'm just so drained when it's hot out, and way easier to do something about the cold than it is to about the heat, right? Like you can always throw on another layer. You can always, light a fire in somebody else's house as need be to get warm. There's always something flammable around is the real answer. I actually have... Oh, it's down there somewhere. I had to charge it because it's a USB thing, but I have a little hand fan that I got. Deep lore folks will recognize that I've had little hand fans in the past, and I have swung back around too. It's too fucking hot and I'm miserable, so I'm getting a little hand fan. It has a little water tank thingy in there so that you can actually turn it into like a spritzy sort of mode, which is kind of nice. And I don't actually know how intense that gets, I guess. You just kind of hold the button down and it goes into that mode and it just kind of does like a constant misting thing. But I don't know, it's interesting. Figured I might give it a shot. We'll see. My worry is that it's going to be audible on mic if I'm using it during recordings. I had it on the other day. I don't know if the videos that I had it for have gone up. Actually, that can't be true because it was while John was here, and I think as of minus like an episode or two of Sonic Origins Plus, I think all of the stuff that John was here for has gone up already at this point. I don't know. Hello, the Golux. How are ya? Yeah, no, I don't know. It doesn't help either that I've talked about this before, but the room that we record in is essentially an attic for this apartment, and there's really poor ventilation up here. The main room has no windows at all. The two rooms on either side of it have essentially one windowy spot, and we have an AC in both sides and a box fan blowing the air from both rooms to the middle, and it's still just hot as fuck in here. It really just doesn't do enough. So yeah, and we're barely into the summer at this point too. It's been like dipping into the low 80s. It's been rising. What's the opposite of what's dipping but for going upwards? Like just kind of towing but upwards. Like would that be like that's like a synchronized swimming dip of the toe because you do it out of the water instead. You point straight up with it. Yeah, no, it's not even gotten all that hot yet, and it's miserable. Because also the heat rises, and again, the ventilation in here is poor, so the heat just kind of catches in this room. It's our doorbell. We ordered some food because we're actually going out dancing tonight. Yeah, so it just like turns into this hot cloud. As you come up the stairs into the room, you can feel the air change. Like not even just the temperature, but just like the density of the air, the humidity of the air changes. It's rough. It's a rough go. But excuse me. Oh my god. Yeah, but it's been an interesting month. We've finally gotten some stuff back on their feet. The Supersonic Let's Play is alive again after a couple weeks away. We did start recording some Sonic Rivals 2, but I realized very quickly that we were basically going to be doing like a couple weeks of it, probably cutting it off less than a third of the way in, and then coming back weeks later to continue. And I was like, let's just wait. We'll wait until we're through with Origins Plus, which isn't going to take long for what it's worth. Like, that's probably going to be like basically the month of July is probably going to be Sonic Origins Plus. Sonic Frontiers is kind of a question mark. It's really going to depend on where things go from here, because the last episode I recorded is the one that went up today, and the realization has set in that I am going to have to do S-rank action chain challenges, and that's going to be a rough time. If I'm lucky, then I will run into areas with a lot of enemies, because enemies instantly increase your multiplier. So if you hit a crowd of them and get rid of them quick enough, then you can get the multiplier up to max really quick. The orbs help a little bit. Grinding helps a little bit, but grinding itself isn't worth a ton. If you happen to have the full 256 multiplier and you can like get a really good amount of speed going, then grinding can be pretty nice, because then you're racking up just a constant amount of points. But like, that's gonna be rough. I'm sure that there's probably like, I don't know, 40 of those in the game now. So we'll see how that goes. I'm gonna have to start. I wonder if it'll let you do the infinite boost and then do that, because like that would make a big difference. Also, it's hilarious to me that you can, I guess you can trade in the new Cocos for an extra boost meter. I think I have to go and find, like, I have to go find the portly Elder Coco again in order to make that work. But when I went to go talk to him before, there was I think Squid was around, so it was very like so I couldn't do anything because there was like a battle going on. But yeah, so we'll check that out. Hopefully it's like a permanent upgrade of some sort and not a temporary thing, because if it's temporary, then there's no difference between doing that and just using the little thing. So I don't know. We'll see how that goes. But yeah, I am excited about a lot of stuff coming up. Peek behind the curtain. There was an original intent for this weekend to do another Stack Up charity stream, but this week in particular has been like, holy shit. There's been a lot going on, and I can't even talk about it yet. There's stuff that is happening that I'll be gleefully discussing next month, but not this month, I don't think. But yeah, the week kind of got away from me, and I didn't get a good chance to kind of announce it. And we're already doing Sonic Weekathon at the same time, and so I'm going to preempt, I guess post-empt now, that statement with. So we were originally going to do one this weekend. I say originally. We originally only had one, and then I was like, all right, let's do a second one. We'll do a second one the weekend of the 4th of July, and then we'll do a third one the weekend of Labor Day. That one is still going to be a thing. We're still going to be doing a Labor weekend stream for Stack Up. The reason I thought about doing 3 was because we got about a third of the way to our goal. Figured that was a pretty reasonable thing to do. I was unironically thinking about having to continue the delivery theme, doing some Yoshi's Island and Yoshi's Island accoutrements. That Sarah was trying to get my attention. So we might be doing some Yoshi's Island streaming for Labor Day, weekend. Doubly appropriate with it being Labor Day. You really can't get away from the baby themes for this one. But yeah, so that'll be the weekend of August, what is that, 29th? Sorry, I guess the weekend of September 1st. Well, September 2nd and 3rd. That was close. That was very close. Yeah. So that should be a good time. But instead, along with not really having a good chance to let people know about this one, I also kind of realized that we are going to have a shitload of weekends coming up over the next 2 months that Sarah and I will not be around to record for, and losing yet another weekend definitely would be a difficult thing for us to get through the rest of the summer. It's gonna be interesting. We're gonna record a lot. We're gonna put out a lot, but there may be points where you see the output drop a little bit again. By the time we get into September, that should be pretty well cleared out. But it's gonna be touch and go. We might have some weeknight recording sessions just to keep things moving. But off the top of my head, originally this weekend was not going to be particularly free. It was going to have some space, but not the whole weekend. Next weekend and the weekend after, I believe, are both going to be normal recording weekends. Where are we? That one. Ding, ding. Then the weekend after that and the weekend after that are probably not going to be. And then the weekend after that, the first weekend of August, yeah. And then 3 straight weekends the rest of August are very likely to be not available. Like, we're losing like 6-ish weekends over the next 2 months. So it's going to be a little bit of a challenge. But we'll do the best we can. Some series are going to take top priority to keep them moving. Tears of the Kingdom is literally number 1 priority as far as videos coming out go. We're going to try to... I will probably keep doing solo recording for Sonic Frontiers just for the DLC. I think for the 3rd DLC, when there's actually new story stuff going on, we may try to do that more like the traditional Let's Plays with more folks. And I'm going to be doing my best to get Kirby's Return to Dreamland Deluxe back up there too, just because it's not a hugely long game, but it is a new remake and stuff, and it'd be nice to get that one going. Mega Man Star Force 3, I think, is also going to be kind of our other like main thing. So Tears of the Kingdom and Star Force 3, I think we can safely assume there's going to be those consistently throughout the next 2 months and beyond. Everything else is going to be a little more touch and go. We'll do the best we can with those. The D-pad calendar for patrons I have been updating. It's kind of a pain of a page to update. I've been trying to figure out a better way to automate it a little bit. Not automate it so much as use some JavaScript frameworks to make it a little bit easier to update, because that's just kind of an ugly page that I threw together on a whim like 6 years ago and never got around to making any serious updates to it. I've made a couple very minor ones, and that's about it. But I am in the middle of updating that, so that should be fixed by the end of the weekend. And yeah. Also, sometime soon, you can probably expect that there's going to be some updates to the Patreon in general. I don't know that anything's going to change in the tiers themselves, but Patreon is changing their structure on the website. They are entirely getting rid of milestone goals, which is a really big bummer. We still owe you guys the oh my god, the Superman. I think we were doing Superman Lives was the next one with Nicolas Cage. Now more poignant than ever. So maybe that'll be something we can try to put some time into. And as far as excuse me. As far as those milestones go, I think we're going to try to keep those as soft goals, but they're just not going to be built into the Patreon system, which is kind of a bummer. I really don't understand why they're getting rid of that. They haven't really been very good about communicating to us why they have decided to make that go away. It sounded like they were doing the standard, like, oh, not a lot of people use it. And it's like, yeah, but people do use it, and like it is useful and it's nice to have. So I don't know. It bums me out. I may try to find some alternative ways of doing that, especially if I can do something that's like Patreon plus Twitch together, since those are kind of our main. Like we don't have what is it called? So YouTube has a thing called it has membership, but we don't really have any YouTube specific perks that we, or at least none that we have in mind, that would work with that. Like, I guess we could open it up just for donations in general, but I don't feel really I already get a little bit weird about pushing, not pushing, pitching. My nose is so itchy right now. I'm like sweating and my nose is itching as a result. I already feel a little bit weird when it comes to advertising our like merch and stuff, which is a me problem. I gotta get better about that, and not like just be like, yeah, just shamelessly throw that stuff out there, but like, you know, be able to let people know when there's stuff there and just kind of pitch it now and then. But I feel less good about literally just opening up a thing that says like, yeah, just put money here. Nothing will come from doing that, but there's money to be put here. But at the same time, there's folks who don't want to use Patreon. There's folks who don't want to subscribe on Twitch. So like, I don't know. Maybe we'll open that up and we'll field ideas from folks of like, you know, stuff that they might want to see for that, for the sake of us being able to give something back, you know. But that's going to be summer thoughts, just random summer thoughts. We'll have to kind of dig through and figure out. But yeah, we may try to do something that involves collectively summing up our Patreon. What is the word for that? Pledges, I guess. And our Twitch subscriptions and YouTube membership if we do that. I don't think I'm going to open. I don't know if I have done this. I kind of hope I haven't, but let me just check this real quick. Oh, I can't even look at the... Oh, Jesus Christ. Just want to check something real quick here. Okay, yeah, no, I don't think that I have it unless it's a mobile-only thing, which is also a possibility. Okay, we do have a thing on there. We do have the like tips thing on Twitter activated, and it just links to our Patreon. So I was gonna say, I was like, do we have like a Twitter cache thing that's in there? I don't know that I want to do that necessarily either, but like being able to have kind of a progress bar on certain milestone things would be kind of nice. I keep going back and forth. I need to put together like a really basic web page for the D-pad in general. It would be nice to be able to even just have like, so right now if you go to dpad.fm, it'll redirect you to our YouTube page, which is fine. That's, you know, not terrible as things go. But there we go. Sorry, I'm like trying to send a bunch of stuff at the same time here too. Oh my God, I completely lost my train of thought. What was I saying? We had the Twitter stuff. Oh yeah, it'd be nice to have kind of a page that does at least the basics of giving you links to various things, like kind of like a, what is it, card or link tree or something. But even just like, you know, other stuff too, like being able to link to projects that people are working on. Being able to link to, it'd be kind of nice to be able to link to like series that we're in the midst of doing a little bit more actively. That one takes a little bit more consistent upkeep. But I also have like other projects that I would love to be able to surface a little bit. I have one that I've been working on for a little bit now, not a video. I mean, there might be a video component to it, but it's not a video itself. And I've been working on it off and on for, God, like a year now. Nothing too serious, just because like the technical aspects are so just frustrating to deal with. And there are websites that do some of this stuff, kind of. But they all cost money at the scale that I'm trying to do, and like not like a small amount either. Like I am perfectly fine with doing with spending money to make something look flashy and good, but this is like, oh, you want to spend like $200 on this? I was like, not really, no. So I don't know. I gotta figure that out. But the project should be interesting. D-pad unpaused will actually be a useful tool as far as that goes. And we'll see. I don't know. I gotta check one more thing, actually. That reminds me. Because I was trying to think, like, rough time frame of when this might be a thing. This would probably be something, if I had to guess, it would be sometime, it would almost certainly be sometime before the end of 2024. Maybe it'd even be something that starts as like a holiday special 2024. That'll be a whole thing unto itself, and literally could be something that stretches over like the duration of the year, basically. But cool, yeah. Actually, hang on one second. I'm gonna send one thing here. I apologize. This is something I meant to send before. This will take like 2 seconds. Trying to get some info out to other folks on the team. Oh my god. Okay, cool. Cool. Got that. I got that. Fuck yeah. Neat. Let me move that out of the way. There we go. I was like a little bit anxious about June just because like a bunch of stuff started happening all at once in terms of like projects and games and things. And now our hands are thoroughly full with more stuff on the immediate horizon. Like, all right, we're doing Sonic Origins, Sonic Frontiers. We got Sonic Superstars coming this fall. We still haven't finished Kirby's Return to Dreamland Deluxe, which would be good to do so that can get off of our plate. We've got Pokemon Legends Arceus, Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl. We have like all of these damn things, and I'm sure we're just going to get another 100 million of them. We're probably going to be covering Super Mario Wonder also. That looks really cool. Be a fun 4-player experience, and I think that'll be a good time. It looks like a charming little game. I think it'll be great. But yeah, why not? Let's take a look at the schedule in general. Yeah, honestly, I feel bad. We have some Resident Evil 4 recorded. I just haven't had a chance to edit it yet. It will be coming next week. I don't want it to go like several weeks without going up if we have the material. But yeah, no, it's been going all right. I've been definitely busy trying to keep up. I think once I get my feet under me a little bit more, it'll make it easier. One of the hard things is always if we have a really good recording weekend and like everything is a new session all at once, it like doubles the amount of time it takes to actually get through editing because you have to like get everything set up ahead of time. But yeah, I don't know. It's a big pile, but we've also got a lot of like temporary-ish things on here that will drop off. Like Kirby's Return to Dreamland Deluxe is the only weekday thing that we intend to do with Kirby because we've played all the rest of them, and there's no new Kirby on the horizon. So at least none that we've been made aware of. So, like, you know, that one's one that we haven't been putting a ton of weight behind, but once we're done with it, it's done, and we're not replacing it with another game. Same thing goes with Pokemon Legends Arceus, which like a week or two ago, we completed the base game. Like we hit the first credits of that game like a week, or I think it was this past weekend. But you're not going to see that for like a good month. Like there's so much that we recorded for that. We're in fact taking kind of a breather from that for a handful of weeks, unless we're like really feeling it. But that should free us up for more Zelda, for more Sonic. Yeah, no, there's just like so much on here, and I am coordinating with John. We have a bunch of work to do as far as getting certain series back on track. Depending, I don't know if he's going to be here this weekend. We may be able to get as far as Face Off number 7. I am already about halfway up into the north in Brilliant Diamond as well. I'm probably going to explore a little bit more than he did, but there's also not a lot to explore. It's a fairly straightforward chunk of game. But yeah, I just got to Route 216 and did my encounter there, so we'll see where the rest of that goes. I'm definitely going to be spending some time before the gym battle sitting down. I already did some of this in video anyway, but I'm going to be spending some time specifically strategizing and doing some like TM maintenance for the team to try to seal this thing up for good. The last face-off I was feeling a little bit iffy on, if only because, at the time we still had all of those like leveling differences and things to concern ourselves with. This next one, that's not really going to be the case. I think all of our Pokemon are going to be level 50 for the next face-off, since they're all going to be above 50. So the level difference will not matter anymore. I hope that I don't get screwed by like a random. Yeah, that one hurt in a lot of ways. Like I'm not like upset specifically, and I'm not like pissed off at John or anything like that. But just if it weren't for the paralysis on Natalie, I think that I would have had that one in the bag. Crobat is just such a fucking speed bruiser. That's the thing, right? Like John got a super low chance of paralysis, and it worked. And it paralyzed, and I got stuck with paralysis and was too slow to get a second attack in. And it's like, that made all the difference in the world. And at that point, like, that battle was so fucked for me. But yeah, I don't know. So I think the next one will go better. I'll be more prepared for that, hopefully. I'm honestly debating. I don't know if I have. Really, what I should do is see if I have. There are certain items and berries that can keep you from being paralyzed for at least one thing. And if I can grab that, then that might actually be more useful than I think I have like a poison barb, which granted, that means that those poison attacks are going to be fucking brutal. But the trade-off is an important thing to consider. I think I'm sticking with my George Dude strategy to open up the match. Cherry berries. Oh, there we go. Nice. Yeah. And I have to assume that I've got at least one of those. They're so common. But yeah, the George Dude strategy to open it up seems pretty ironclad. Just because it so sturdy, and I don't think John has any flinch moves ready to rock at the beginning. So start with George Dude. He's got sturdy, and he's guaranteed essentially, asterisk, but he's essentially guaranteed to get Stealth Rock out, which means John has to spend a turn later to get rid of them, at which point I have another Pokemon with Stealth Rock also, so it's not even like I can't put them back out if I want to be a real dick once Blastoise is dead. But yeah, I don't know. He has stated on mic that he intends to forfeit the rest of the run if/when he does actually lose his 5th match, since he will lose the overall Nuzlocke, which bums me out if I'm being honest. But I mean, I can't make him, obviously, and if that does happen, then I mean we move through the rest of the game pretty quickly. We do the post game, and then it's over. But I don't know. We'll see how that one goes. I don't know. I think it'd be better if we could continue with, especially at this point, we're going to be 7 chapters in. Literally all that's left is the 8th gym leader, or the 8th gym chapter, and the Elite Four. So it's not even like there's all that much left, really, of the main game. So I don't know. We'll see how that goes. We'll see where things head from there. I'll see if I can kind of convince him to, and like the Team Galactic stuff that kind of goes along. Usually Evil Team resolution comes somewhere in the realm of the 8th gym or before the Elite Four, with minor exceptions. I think Sword and Shield and Black and White both pull a bit of a twist on that particular formula for the most part. Excuse me, my God. But yeah, I guess let's get into the actual schedule. May as well start walking through this thing. So Tears of the Kingdom. Big one up on top. We actually didn't record any last weekend, so what went up today was the most recent episode that has been recorded. Rough game plan for what the next couple steps are going to be. I do still want to go around Lake Hylia just to grab, if there's like one or two other... Sorry, not Lake Hylia. The lake around Rito Village. I forget the name of it. Lake Medley. I don't know. I'd like to go around that to see if we can get like one or two more light routes in that kind of region, especially since that'll get relatively close to the northwestern edge of the map. of the underworld. I at least want to hit those two, and then we're going to head up to Rito Village and talk there, chat with folks, get some missions, see if we can find a way down into the chasm in Lake Totori. Ah, okay, cool. That is Totori cool. That's a fucking awful joke. We're gonna see if we can find a way into if there's a chasm entrance somewhere in the mountain there, or in the Rito village. I'm intrigued so far. From the surrounding the actual way later. Yeah, I mean that makes sense. I was gonna say, I'm curious if there are other ways into the depths that don't involve a chasm entrance that has the pink gloom around it on the map, because it'd be neat if there were some surprises on that. It does make it feel a little bit too. It's weird. On the one hand, it feels too easy to find them because you see it on the map and you go, "Oh, there's pink that's there. Okay, cool," and you just go there. But it'd be nice if there were some surprise things where it's like, "Oh, you go into a cave and you travel down for a bit, and all of a sudden it's just a big fuck off dropping point that just releases you into the depths," which is kind of neat. There are some chasms that are not on the map. Perfect. Excellent. That is exactly what I was hoping for. So there's that. We are going to head back to Lookout Landing and talk to people there. I think we're going to wait until after we've talked with folks at Rito Village. I don't know that we're going to walk back to Lookout Landing, but I do want to make a point of stopping at the stables we've been to already, because I do want to get the Gazette quest moving as well. And once we are satisfied with where we're at with those, we are going to we're going to start on our way to Death Mountain and the Elden region, but we are probably going to divert course. I would like to go and check out the Korok Forest and see what state the Great Deku Tree is in. I would definitely like to get underground to see what's going on under the Great Deku Tree. But once we're kind of satisfied with that, it'll be Death Mountain time in a big way. So, depths around Rito Village, Rito Village itself, Gazette Shrine quest, Lookout Landing, underground to Lookout Landing. I want to look around that first chasm a little bit more again. Starting to Death Mountain, going to see the Great Deku Tree, going under the Great Deku Tree, hitting up the next geoglyph, because that is on the walls of Death Mountain, and then Goron City. We'll see. I'm very intrigued. Like, the description we've gotten so far is very intriguing to me, because they're like, no, there's lava everywhere. And it's like, I thought the Gorons historically weren't too bothered by lava. Like, they like things really hot. They have been in excruciatingly hot, like baths and things. But I thought that, like, oh, they were saying that, like, lava had, like, spilled everywhere or something. I mean, granted, if the whole fucking place is covered in lava, then I did misunderstand that then. I thought that they were saying that, like, lava had been shot all over the place and new paths were everywhere because the lava was essentially in the way for everybody else. But, all right, so it'll be a little bit more diggy and navigatey. I do have, like, I'm not expecting to see them, but I would love to see the Magmas return. It feels like they're just, like, right on the brink of existing in this game, and I really, really want to see them again. If for no other reason than to continue the bridge between Skyward Sword and Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, because it's so weird to think about that those are the last three games that came out. Not the last three games that came out. The last three core console games, like new core console titles that came out. We had Skyward Sword and then Breath of the Wild, which is such an unbelievable difference between those. Like, there aren't a lot of glow-ups that are more significant in terms of scope. There are definitely a few that are that way for sure. Like, I think maybe my favorite one is Smash Brothers 64 to Melee being less than 2 years apart is, like, fucking insane to me. That shit is ridiculous. The same amount of time that went between Ocarina and Majora is the time that went between Smash 64 and Melee, and they're like leagues apart. It's nuts. Yeah, it seemed like it definitely seemed like Skyward Sword. The more we get these open world games, the more Skyward Sword felt like a prototype of what they were hoping to accomplish with a more open Zelda experience. And like they even had admitted in the aftermath of Skyward Sword, they were like, look, we wanted to have the whole sky be connected to the whole ground below, when we wanted the whole of all of the ground areas to be interconnected, not just like they were in the older like 3D Zelda games, but even more so, just a big open area, and you could always just go into the, like, it essentially felt like essentially the idea for Skyward Sword feels not too dissimilar from what we're getting with Tears of the Kingdom. And if anything, if we get a third open world exploration Zelda game like this, to not besmirch Age of Calamity as not being a wild trilogy game, but if they made a third game in the vein of Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom specifically, I would hope that there might be the option for some Loftwing like deal that lets you freely like go all over the place or something. But like by the same token, Hyrule would have to be fucking like unrecognizably destroyed for that to make any sense at that point. So I don't know. We'll see where I mean, I don't even know where this game goes. So yeah, it'll be a good time. But yeah, Tears of the Kingdom, no episodes currently recorded, but we have our, I guess, 10-step plan of where we're going next. The hope is to at least get through half of that list in the next session, because I know that like it's weird. It's very exciting to be able to I guess that's true. Having the control stick and understanding how it works will definitely make some of that better. Provided, I guess, does the bird die if you have fans attached to it? Can you just, or I guess the other question too is I may as well, like, I could build something that isn't going to run out the same way the bird does if you just like glide on it. But yeah, we'll see where those go. I get really excited about just exploring and finding random shit, but I know it's not the best TV, so like we do want to keep things moving generally. Stick two fans to a control. Oh, can you literally just attach them to the stick itself? That's fucking funny. That's interesting. I was wondering a little bit if that was an option, honestly. So now I'm definitely gonna have to fuck around with that and see how that goes. I mean, that makes sense. Yeah, that would kind of break a lot of stuff there, but cool. All right. So that's Tears of the Kingdom. Mega Man. We have Star Force 3. We still have another like month of Star Force 3 videos that have been recorded for like a long time, like literally since sometime in the spring. Jeff is planning to be here this weekend. We will almost certainly be recording more Star Force 3. Because the more stuff that we can get done that will clear us out through August and beyond, the better. And Star Force 3 is definitely the easiest target for that, for sure. Yeah, that would not even be all that hard to get recorded well enough out to get there. But we have fought the first boss already. I don't recall whether we got the card. I think we did, actually. So... I don't remember. I haven't actually looked at the footage for it yet. I don't even know if it's something that's coming up this weekend. It might be in next weekend's videos, but yes, we have fought the first boss at this point. But yeah, Star Force 3 is going really well so far. I've been enjoying it. They really have a slow drip feed of explaining some of these mechanics, like the white cards and the like grayed out cards when they're overlapped and stuff like that. Is like, would have liked to have that explained a little bit sooner, but it's not terrible. We're only like 5 hours into the game as of the videos that have been up so far, so like that's not too bad. What else? The Mega Man daily videos. I may just kind of like hang on to that a little bit longer, just because things are getting so crazy. We have a ton of stuff already recorded in other series, and I have some like. There may be a point in August where I need to like really stretch stuff out, like video wise, in terms of think in some ways similar to the start of COVID. We were like I essentially put out like 1, maybe 2 videos a day, even when I had enough for like 3, 4, 5, just to be sure that we had enough to get us through the period of time where we couldn't safely record together. So like, you know, there may the Mega Man stuff may be held on to a little bit longer, especially since we have so many one-off games on our docket. So one of them, for example, is Pokemon Legends Arceus. I had already mentioned that we have beaten the base game for that, or at least we've gotten to the credits. The big question mark, I mean, not big question mark, one of the question marks is whether or not to refer to what we do from here as post-game or not. Because it is still technically part of the game, the main game. Like, it's giving you the quest right away to start doing stuff. But it's kind of a question of whether we treat it like post-game or not. So I don't know. It includes numbering. It includes, you know, how we market it, really, I guess. But it's been going pretty well. The ending was kind of a roller coaster there. There were some interesting things. And a bunch of stuff that I guessed really, like, ridiculously early on came true, and then I immediately verbalized a so obviously wrong theory that's going to be hilarious to hear again when I get to editing, so that'll be fun. I guess that's true. So the fucking penis hair and lion's mane hair were post-game. That is true. Yeah, like, I've been leaning in the direction of referring to them as post-game, so, like, it is what it is. There we go. Just putting a quick thing down here for my own reference for later. There we go. Cool. But yeah, so that'll be interesting. And also, yeah, when that wraps up, we're not replacing it with anything. It's going to free us up. And I've been saying for a while that essentially when Pokemon Legends Arceus is done, and preferably when Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl are done, I'm going to be reviving Pokemon Insurgence. Because that one's been sitting for a while. The game did get completed after we last saw it. And it is technically an outstanding Pokemon series that needs finishing. But yeah, by that point, the only Pokemon stuff that would still be left hanging would be, you know, any streams that are left. I think Violet will be done before Legends Arceus is done. There, and then Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl will be done. The only thing that would really be left is Pokemon Sword, which is wholly dependent on when we can get Ben and Jeff together. And if anything, I'm gonna have to like get really, I'm gonna have to get a little bit pushy to try to get them both in the same room sometime soon, so we can get that going. It's not even that long of a thing. Like not the Crown Tundra. The Isle of Armor was only like 5 or so hours, less than 6 hours of DLC. So like even if it's done over 2 sessions, we should be able to get that completely done. The Crown Tundra. But yeah, so hopefully we'll be able to get that moving again, because that would be another one that we would just kind of off the schedule it goes. Honestly, the ideal scenario is that by the end of the summer, we're able to get ourselves in a position where we're doing like Tears of the Kingdom, Resident Evil, Sonic, Mega Man, both weekday, weekend, Kingdom Hearts, and like, I don't know, Insurgents. So we'll see. Yeah, I'm intrigued. I know that there's a shitload of legendaries in Crown Tundra. So that should be kind of an interesting angle for stuff to go there. Really, I need to. So I have like this horribly elaborate video schedule notepad file, and I need to like I normally have it arranged in order of like weekday videos, like main weekday videos, Twitch, like B tier kind of stuff. Weekend videos. Now it's like, all right, maybe I should do it to like, here's our A tier stuff that we want to focus the most on. Twitch. Here's our one-offs that when they're clear, they're gone. and then like extra bonus stuff underneath is probably the way to go here. I'm just looking at it right now. I'm going like, man, this is so hard to read. Like, it's only for me. I'm the only one who uses this particular file, but all right. I already talked a little bit about Sonic. Sonic Origins Plus has been fine so far. We've only played Sonic 1 with Amy. I think it's going to be kind of a breezy run in general. Sonic 2, Sonic 3, we're definitely going to be focusing on getting, I believe, Super and even maybe Hyper? Question mark? I know there's at least Super Amy in the game, so I want to get that, see how that looks and feels and plays and all that. And I don't expect we're going to be in there all too long. We'll probably take a look at Knuckles and Sonic CD. We'll probably beat what few missions have been added for Amy, and probably also for Knuckles and Sonic CD. And then I think we'll be done. I don't know that we're gonna like have a real definitive like closing point for that one. I don't want to call it underwhelming yet because like Amy in these Sonic games is brand new, and that's pretty cool. But like Sonic Origins was already kind of a mildly controversial release in the first place, and this just kind of adds to it in some ways because it's like, okay, this feels less sincere in some ways than Sonic Mania. Which is weird because it's literally the original game. It's not even a send-up to them. So, I don't know. I'm more interested in getting back to regular Sonic stuff at this point compared with Sonic Origins Plus and even Sonic Frontiers, the DLC. It's fine. I'm trying to make sure to be adding more stuff as we're doing the DLC to make it a little bit less bare bones, which is why when we did DLC Pack 1, I made a point of S-ranking all of the stages in the actual main game as well, get all the keys, and now in DLC 2, I'm going to be getting all of the, I forget, there's the name for them, the hearts, the medals, all that stuff. We're going to get all of those as well. Functionally, with this one, we're going to be 100%ing the game because the third DLC is going to be a full-on like new playable character chapter thing, so there's going to be a whole new set of stuff that goes along with that. So functionally, this second DLC set is going to be for the purpose of 100%ing Sonic Frontiers. If Sonic Origins is done before Sonic Frontiers is, unless Sonic Frontiers is like on the brink of being done again, we'll probably just get started with Sonic Rivals right away and rather than wait for Sonic Frontiers to be done. It really depends when Origins is wrapping up. It depends where we are in the month of August as things are clearing up because I might just need some more time anyway. But it is what it is. One of the things that I'm talking with John about right now is making some firm plans for a few things. One, continuing to review Sonic Prime. I am going to figure out a way to make it work. I will figure out something. I'm not happy with how the first episode came out for us. The show, I think, had a great first episode. First two episodes were great. But our video, I'm not happy with. I am probably going to re-edit and find a more clever way to be able to get that onto YouTube without all the fucking bells and whistles and hoops and all that shit. I want it to be something people can actually watch and enjoy. And if it requires creative editing techniques in order to keep Netflix from shutting it down, then we'll do that. And we'll see how it goes. I'm trying to remember, actually, we recently... Actually, let me see if I can find this real quick. Which one was it? Oh, where is it? Where is it? Oh, never mind. I don't think it was Sonic. I was going to say, I thought that the first episode we got a full-on, like, copyright infringement thing. What is this? Oh, okay, whatever. I think we had like a full-on infringement thing, I think over Star Force Tribe, I believe. I'm trying to find it because it recently finally fell off of our deal here. Where did it go? Yeah, there it is. Yeah, ShowPro hit us with a legit full-on copyright claim, and it only just finally fell off of our account. So that's going to be fun if we have to start dealing with that more. But my phone's like blowing up at the same time too. What's even going on here? Okay, whatever. I forget which one of the. Oh, but yeah, we are going to figure out some way to get Sonic Prime up and working. We do have the option, if things are real bad, I can post the video to Patreon, but I really don't like that for a number of reasons. I promised a long time ago that we were not going to make any of our content Patreon only. Not because we don't want to be able to give Patreon like perks in general, but because I don't know, one of the sticking points for me a long time ago was I don't want to make people feel like they have to give us money in order to see the things we make. So yeah, I don't know. Like I may put it up there as a short-term solution if stuff is real bad while I'm figuring out something better. But we will figure something out. Season 2 is coming out in July, so I want us to be ready for that. In addition, once we're done with Sonic Prime, we're going to be getting back into Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog. There are 35 episodes remaining of Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog, and whether with John or without John, the intent is to follow up that with, was it Saturday morning Sonic the Hedgehog, Sonic Underground, Sonic X, Sonic Boom. I want to get into the other Sonic cartoons, and I can't really justify us doing that if we're literally in the middle of two others. So I want us to actually be able to get through all of that first. So that's gonna be an interesting ride. Talking with John, we're figuring that stuff out, and we'll see how that goes, I suppose. Already talked about Diamond Pearl. Resident Evil, I think we have finished the first act of the game as of our most recent recording session. So we have probably like the better part of 100 episode series on our hands with Resident Evil 4. That's going to be a beefy one. It's going to last basically the whole summer. And I'm going to have to figure out some stuff with Siege for what remains of Let's Play Dead after that. Because I think it's 5, 6, and then also I think there was also like one or two other games that were getting added into there as well. Not to mention going back to 7 and doing some stuff with that again too. Talked about Kirby already. We're still early in the game, but we're also going to do the Magalore epilogue, and clear all that stuff out as well. And then we're not replacing that with anything because there's no other Kirby games that are out. The Dreamy Let's Play is by and large just kind of over as far as like, you know, that stuff goes. Technically so is the Legendary Let's Play. Like we're just playing stuff as they come out now. What else? Kingdom Hearts. I forget if I had mentioned before, we have recorded our reaction and review of Kingdom Hearts Key. This weekend we may do the same for Unchained Key. We're going to see how we're feeling, how the time is looking, and we'll go from there. There's so much stuff that's going on right now, but I think we will be able to make that work. I think we will have the chance to actually sit down and do that. It's probably going to be longer. Unchained Key, the way that we're recording it, is going to allow us to have a lot more of the actual game stage cutscenes to look at as compared with the video that we used for the Unchained Key, or the just regular Key videos. Hopefully this stuff all winds up coming out in a way that makes sense. Realistically, Key is like our practice run of looking at Unchained Key and you know, back cover and all that stuff too. So I think we'll be okay. It'll be nice to do Unchained Key to jog our memory a little bit too. It's going to be very interesting. I think we're going to be like, oh wait, was that a thing before? Is this a new thing? But once we're done with Key and Unchained Key, we will be getting into Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep 0.2. Oh, sorry. Kingdom Hearts. Is it Birth by Sleep 0.2 or 0.2 Birth by Sleep? I think it's Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep 0.2 tilde a fragmentary passage, which is a follow-up to the final ending for Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep, where Aqua goes through the door to darkness. I feel like I'm speaking like Martian half the time when talking about Kingdom Hearts. It's ridiculous. But yeah, so I think that's it as far as reviews of Marvel stuff. We'll be coming back very soon, probably in the next 2 weeks. I know Secret Invasion is out. I have not watched any of it yet. I want to finish getting through. I haven't gotten through She-Hulk yet, and I have not watched the Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special, but everything else that has come out in the interim I have seen. We're going to work our way through there. I want to see what the rest of this show is. I want to see what the new show has to offer. Should be a good time. But yeah, I think that's it as far as schedule-y stuff goes. I know that this is kind of a, I guess this isn't even that short. It's been a little over an hour, which is kind of normal for us for these. I do have to dash pretty quickly, though. Next month, and it is still June as I'm saying this, so that is accurate. Next month, we will be having our Hangout on Friday, July. Hang on a second. Let me think about this just to be sure. Yes, I believe it will be July 28th. Friday, July 28th should be our next Hangout. It should be back at the normal time, 8 o'clock. And I think I included that in the Patreon post about this as well. If anyone is watching the VOD for this and you would like to join, I keep forgetting to actually make... Literally, I remember that I wanted to make an overlay for Patreon Hangouts at the end when I start talking about Patreon in general. I really got to do that at some point. Maybe I'll do that at the start of this weekend so I can have that. But regardless, patreon.com/dpadfm. You can see details there. In the next couple days, it may get a little jumbly depending on how Patreon is changing their layout and stuff, but I will make a point of swinging through there and having that all cleaned up. And yeah, I think that's about it. Lots of stuff to talk about, lots of stuff to see. There's going to be a ton more happening over the course of this summer. Very excited to talk about it, but the time is not today. It'll hopefully be next month when we can talk about some of the other crazy stuff that's going on. But in the meantime, thank you guys so much for hanging, and thank all of you that are out there watching this after the fact as well. Yeah, thank you guys for all the support and for enjoying our videos and stuff. Happy to make them and, brighten your days. I am going to... Yeah, I'm going to sign off at this point. Tuesday, starting early, we're going to have Sonic Heroes for Sonic Weekathon 3. If need be, it will be split in half and the second half brought into Thursday. Depends on how things are going there. It really is going to depend on how far. Essentially, we'll know by the time we're like most of the way through Team Team Dark, probably. I forget who's actually two darker rows, but yeah, we should know fairly early into the whole thing whether it's going to be a 1 or 2 night thing. But I'm excited, and I'll see you guys there. Have a good one. Thanks for watching. Bye.